You guys probably heard, right? Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock. Come on, man. What you think is gonna happen? What you think is gonna happen when you talk shit about another man's wife's appearances? I mean, it's like not even something that she can control, man. Like, I mean, she announced that she had alopecia, right? Which is like, she can't grow hair. She shaved that shit off. Why are you making fun of her appearance? You saw that on YouTube, Cinecute? Yo, a lot of motherfuckers out there are saying like, you know, I wish you would, but Will Smith is actually that dude, man. You know what I mean? He's that dude. I want to see Chris Rock like say that same shit on the streets. Carry that same energy. Talk about someone's wife like that. See if he don't get his ass dropped. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Just because like there are some celebrities like putting on some tuxedo, you're on a stage and you are like on a public arena means that you get to talk shit about another man's wife? Like, alright, you know, like, say like he's just being a comedian, right? He's just doing his job. Like, you can't pick up the phone and call Jada or Will and say like, I'm gonna tell this joke, I just wanna check if it's cool with you, right? And you could have avoided this. You know, Will could have told you, yo, she's kind of sensitive about her hair, you know, just chill out. I mean, you don't even have to call Jada. All you have to call is Will. Just check in with the guy, right? Like, there's some street rules to this shit. That's like some code rules. Would you say some shit about your boy's girl as a joke? You wouldn't, right? Because you have respect for your boy. I wouldn't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I'm hanging out with Helix and his girl. Like, I wouldn't talk shit about. I wouldn't make a comment about his girl that was like making fun of her, because I have respect for my boy. You know, and considering how long like Chris Rock knew Jada and Will, like, dude's been talking shit ever since 2016, man. Saying like Jada wasn't even invited to the Oscars, like he wasn't invited to Rihanna's panties. Fuck out of here, bro. You deserve to get smacked on your face. There's a difference about making fun of someone's appearance, like if it's a choice. Like, what if like Jada had cancer? Right? As a comedian, right? Like, whenever you see someone have like a shaved head, you know, like you would try to like, hey man, like do your research. Do your fucking research, man. What if that person has cancer and you just made fun of how someone looked? Like, think about this shit, right? Like, Will Smith has seen Jada be insecure about her hair, cry about that shit every day, and hate how she looked for weeks, for months, for maybe a year, right? And only for Chris Rock to say that shit on like, you know, national TV. Even if like Will found the joke funny, why would you put a man on the spot to defend his wife? What do you think is gonna happen if Will Smith didn't step up to Chris? What if he didn't step up to him? Like, how much shit is he gonna get from Jada back in the car? Why would you put a man on the spot like that? You know what I mean? Like, don't ever put a man on the spot like that, right? Because if you ever do that shit, like you ever insult another man's wife in front of him, you put him on the spot, if he doesn't say anything back or he doesn't smack the shit out of you, you're making him look like a punk, right? Chris Rock forgot like where Will Smith came from, bro. That dude wasn't like naturally from Bel Air, bro. He wasn't the Prince of Bel Air. That dude is from the streets. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's been boiling for a while, right? Like, Chris Rock's been talking shit ever since 2016. People are like piling on and saying like, oh, you know, like Jada and Will are just being sensitive as shit, you know, because they're going through this whole like entanglement bullshit. You know, none of that matters, bro. None of that matters, because what you just did was you put a man on the spot when you insulted his wife. Dude, what the fuck was Will Smith supposed to do? Like, sit there and take it? Low-key though, Will about to get some mad pussy, man. Mad pussy. That's a dude that would jump in front of a tiger to save your fucking ass. Like, think about Will, man. Will has like no controversies like ever since like 1969. That dude's been clean. He never like starts shit, right? And you know, like, when you make jokes about people like that, you don't even know if they're hurting. I think like there's one thing I gotta give like Chris props for is like, I think innately Rock understands that if you talk shit, you're gonna get hit. right? That's why he like fucking took it like a champ, right? And he was all about like, you know, that show is about to go on. It has to go on. Yo, never put a man in a situation where he feels like he has to defend his wife. That's all I'm saying. Especially if it's like a very sensitive issue about like her hair, because she can't control that shit, right? Like, it took like Jada a while to come out of it and like, you know, share it with the world, and it was like her daughter that convinced her to shave her hair because she has alopecia. She can't grow that shit, right? Especially if like, especially like Rock is a black man, right? And I'm not trying to speak for black people, but she should know. Like, I'm a fucking Asian dude, right? Like, I know black women are sensitive about their hair, right? Like, if you're gonna talk that shit, you're gonna expect some hit. You know what I mean? Like, especially like, didn't Rock do like a whole documentary about like black women's hair and how that shit is important? Only to go on stage and make fun of a black woman that is losing her hair. You know? That's all I'm saying, bro. All I'm saying is you could have picked up the phone. You could have called Will. Hey, bro, I got mad love for you and your wife. I'm just checking in with you if it's cool if I can tell this joke. You can pick up the fucking phone, bro. Yeah, you don't disrespect the Black Queen. That's all I'm saying. You don't ever disrespect a man's wife in front of him, because you're essentially putting the man on the spot to do something about it. And if he don't do something about it, yo, you pussy, man. Like, a lot of people say, man, like, I wish you would, right? But like, Will is actually that dude. He is that dude. I think Oates wants to smack Chris too. Yo, I would, man. I would. I mean, like, obviously, like, if it was me, you know, I don't have that like clout like that, I would have got booked, right? You know, like, Chris would press charges on my fucking Asian ass. You know what I mean? Because I'm a nobody. And think about this. What if like Rock made the joke on some actor that was on the come up? Say it wasn't Jada. Say it was the wife of a young actor that was on the come up. He would have to sit there and take that shit because he doesn't want to ruin his career. He doesn't have the royalty and the clout that Will has. Will don't give a fuck. Will is Hollywood royalty. He don't give a fuck. Like, that dude has like TV shows, movies, a rap album. Like, literally, Will plays a dude that kills motherfucking aliens, bro. Right? Independence Day, he fly fucking fighter jets, shooting down bitches in Men in Black, fucking up fools. And you're gonna say that about his wife? See, here's the thing, right? It's easy to make a joke when you're making it on the expense of like someone's like appearance. It's easy, right? But that means you're making everyone laugh at someone. Like, they said, like, the Academy came out saying that, yo, we don't condone violence. How about you don't condone bullying? How about you don't make fun of someone that doesn't have control over their own appearances? You know what I mean? It's like different if you go into a comedy club. If you go into a comedy club and a comic is like cracking jokes, and if you're on a wheelchair, you know, if you have like a bald head, it's all game, right? It's all game. You walked in there. But this is an event that, you know, people are like, yo, Chris Rock is a comedian. He can say whatever the fuck he wants to say. This shit ain't a roast, bro. There's a right place and a right time for that type of shit, right? You know, and people forget that celebrities are humans. Just because someone has money, someone is famous, it doesn't mean that they don't go through the same struggles as you. You know what I mean? And even more so, like, if you think why do people become entertainers in the first place? That's because a lot of actors and performers are insecure, man. They're broken people. That's why they are seeking the validation of people through performances, through acting, through singing. And you're gonna say some shit at them. and expect like nothing to happen because you're wearing a tuxedo, you're on a stage, there are cameras everywhere, everyone's watching, and you think you're safe. My argument is, say that same shit to some random motherfucker on the streets and carry that same energy. See your ass don't get dropped an instant. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people say, man, I wish you would, right? And it's like a code, bro. You can talk about me all you want. Don't talk about my kids, don't talk about my wife. And Rock just found out Will isn't that dude. That's all there is to it, man. And he should have known better. Yeah, what do you guys think about that shit, man? Like, about that, you know, okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys, right? When I first saw Will step up on that stage and smack the shit out of Chris Rock, I honestly felt that Will was in the wrong. If I was Will, if I stepped on that stage, what I would have done instead was I would have took the mic from Chris Rock and I would be like, I just want to like let everyone know that my wife Jada has this condition called alopecia. It's a condition that she can't control, and it took her a lot of courage to shave her head and share that with the world. And then I would look at Chris and I would say, Chris, I think you need to apologize right now. You need to go down, look Jada in her eyes and apologize for what you said, because what you said was insensitive. Like, I get the whole idea of like making fun of people and like keeping it light, you know, keeping it jokes and all that, but you're making fun of someone who doesn't have control over their hair. So apologize. And if he wouldn't apologize, or he would try to say some slick shit, I would slap the shit out of him dead. So that was what I would have done if I was Will. I would have like took the mic, explained the whole situation, because a lot of people are coming into this like not understanding that Jada doesn't even like bro, why the fuck would you fuck with the black girl's hair? You know what I mean? Brody says, Oates, violence is not the answer. It doesn't teach anyone anything. It's an action but not a solution. I would probably do the same thing, but the words are different than putting hands on someone. I believe violence isn't the answer to, but you gotta understand, bro, like, there is something called a man code. And one of the first things of a man code is you never ever put a man on the spot to defend his wife. Right? You guys, you gotta remember, like, it doesn't matter what Will feels. Because when he goes back home, and yo, Jada is not gonna believe Will is a man anymore. You never ever put a man in a position where he needs to defend his wife. And check this out, right? Part of the man code is also learning when you should say certain shit and when you shouldn't. Right? So as you know, as much as violence isn't the answer, that's how you get checked back in the day. Back in the day, you wouldn't say shit like that in school because you would get punched in the face. You wouldn't say that shit on the streets because you would get dropped. Right? So, as much as like laying hands on another dude is like, you know, it's a crime, right? I'm gonna admit, it's a crime. Like, I think like even if Chris would like press charges, I would have understand, but like, a lot of people say it, man. A lot of motherfuckers say it like, I wish you would, right? Talk about me, but don't talk about my wife and kids. But when Will is actually that dude, everyone does a surprise Pikachu face. Yo, the way Chris slapped the shit out of him was some pimp shit, bro. That dude had like form, like he followed through. Yo, that shit was like some pimp shit. But I gotta say, like, Chris took it like a man. And here's the other thing, right, bro, dude? You know, like, I don't believe violence is the answer, but I also do believe that if you are putting out a certain level of negativity into the world, you kind of have to, like, take responsibility when you take a bit back. Like, if you put out poison, right? And like, again, like, this is not condoning violence, right? Like, there's a bunch of stuff like Will could have done. Like, you know what would have been more fucked up, like Will could have done instead of slapping the shit out of him, was Will could have spit in his face. Would that have been like, you know, a felony? I don't think it would. You know what I mean? Because like I said, right, like you guys aren't living with Jada. Will Smith is, right? He's seeing her cry over her hair. He's seeing her hate herself. he's seeing her go through so much pain. And only to see some random motherfucker like you known for years talk shit about her hair on stage on an international like event. I believe like violence isn't the answer, but I also believe in checking a motherfucker. I have been personally checked, right? Like I remember back in middle school, there was like this transfer student that came to my class, man, and he came from he came from a rough background, and he was talking some shit, right? So I started to talk some shit back, but I took it way too far, right? The dude was just talking about me, but I just ran out of ideas, so I went for his mom. I talked shit about his mom, right? I call him a motherfucker, I call him all kinds of names, I said his mom was fat as shit, like things like that. And he choked me out. He actually grabbed me by the throat, punched me in the face a couple times, and held his hand there until I couldn't breathe. Right? And I thought I was gonna die. Seriously, I was choking. Right? But from that day onwards, like I knew like if you're gonna talk that shit, you gotta prepare for some heat. If you can't stand the heat, don't stay in the kitchen. And there's one thing at least I'm really proud about myself in middle school was I never fucking snitched. I never snitched. Right? No matter how much I got my ass beat or like I get into fights, never snitch. Never fucking snitch. Stand-up comedy is like there's a difference, right? If it was a roast of Jada, it would have been like free game. But it wasn't a roast event. It wasn't a comedy club. If you go into a comedy club with like a fucked up foot or like a fucked up eye, or if you have a shaved head or you're in a wheelchair, if you have any of those and you walk into a comedy club and you sit your ass down and if the comedian makes fun of you, it's free game. I think there's a right place and time to make fun of people. Brody says I'm not against what Will did at all. Like I said, I would have done the same thing, but restraint is something that should have been practiced as well. It's a very double-sided thing. I think like both sides were wrong because I felt that whole thing could have been avoided if Chris just picked up the phone a day before and checked in with Will. Like, yo, I'm gonna be telling these jokes and I just want to check in with you, right? If it's cool. And Will could have been like, oh yeah, you know what? Like maybe like don't talk about her hair because that shit is kind of sensitive. Like, she's been like, maybe she's been suicidal about that shit. Maybe she's been like, yeah. Syndicate says when it comes to my son, I will destroy. Yeah, but here's the difference, Syndicate. If you and your son were walking into a comedy club and they talk shit about your son or you or both of you, it's free game, bro. Because you walked into a comedy club, or if you walked into a roast, and they were roasting you, it's fine, right? But this is an event that like nobody's expecting to be like insulted, especially something about they're sensitive about, especially like about your wife. Like if Will didn't do anything, it would made him look like a punk. He couldn't go back home and look his wife in the face. Because it doesn't matter if you're on a world stage, if you're putting on tuxedos, if like the world is watching you, like think about this, right? What would a younger actor with no clout like Will Smith do? They would have sit there and take it. It would have fucking sucked. They would have sit there and take it. But Will Smith didn't give a fuck. He got up on the stage and did what he had to do. And I have a lot of respect for that. Man. Like, but like I said, right? Like, I don't think violence is the answer either. Like I said, if I was handling it, I would have walked on the stage, took the mic, explained the whole situation about, the alopecia, asked Chris, like, please apologize, to my wife, right? And if he was still trying to be cute, I would lay the smack down on this motherfucker, man. Will is actually showing more respect to Chris by slapping him in the motherfucking face. Because you know what is even more fucked up? Is Will could have went on stage and spit in his face. Which do you think is worse? A slap or someone spitting in your face? Right? If Will spit on Chris' face, would that have been considered violence? It's not a felony. Right? You disrespected my wife. Like, why can't I disrespect you? This is not a roast. This is not a comedy club. This is like, we are just here to receive awards, bro. We're not here to hear you talk shit. And Chris been talking shit, bro. He's been talking shit since 2016. There was like one time like Jada boycotted the Oscars because like, you know, I don't know, man, like some kind of, and then Chris talked shit. Chris was like, you ain't invited. Bro, this is honestly, the Oscars are not the time to be roasting people. It's supposed to be the best award show, but then you have to say, what about Ricky Gervais roasting people to infinity? I you know, that's the funny thing, right? Like, I watched the Ricky Gervais, you know, roast. I can't remember every single thing about it, but I think like what Ricky's whole thing was about, like, he was addressing the crowd in general. He was saying like, you know, you guys are celebrities, like, just come on stage, receive your award, and fuck off, right? Like, don't talk about like how you're such a good person, because like a lot of people like receiving the award were like people like Apple, you know, like people like, you know, using like fucking slavery to make their products. And like Ricky was talking shit about like a known convicted pedophile, right? Wasn't he talking shit about like Epstein? Like, that dude is like free game, man. Like, here's the thing. If you want to talk shit, talk about people that are convicted for some bullshit, right? Like Epstein, Weinstein. Like, pieces of shit that prey on children and women. Fuck those guys, right? I don't recall seeing Ricky Gervais make fun of somebody's wife's appearance that she can't control because of a medical condition. I don't recall seeing him do that. All I recall seeing him do is talk about motherfuckers who touch kids, you know, and hurt women. I think it's a different story, man. And think about it, right? It's the intent. Well, what is the intent of the joke, right? The intent of the joke is to like make people laugh. But if you're making someone's appearance something they can't control, the butt of the joke, not everyone's laughing at you. Everyone is laughing at that person. You made a joke, so everyone is laughing at that person. And what if that person is someone's wife, is someone's daughter, someone's kid, and the dude is sitting there? The slap, in my opinion, was because Chris disrespected Will. As much as it was like majorly disrespecting Jada, it was disrespecting Will. Because you think that the dude is gonna take it. Like, you're gonna talk shit about his wife, and he's gonna just sit there and not do a motherfucking thing. Because there are cameras, because you are wearing a tuxedo, because you're on stage, because everyone is watching. Right? Like, why would you put a dude on the spot like that? That is some coward shit, you know? Like, if you're going to do something like that, like, try it on the streets. Say that shit to a random motherfucker, man, on the streets, and carry that same energy. That's all I'm saying. You know, there's a time and place for everything. You don't go on the streets and, like, roast people. You do it in a club. You do it in an event where people are supposed to get roasted. People want comedy. Because not everyone on the streets are feeling comedy. Not everyone in... Dude, you don't even know, like, you know, like the people like that go to the Oscars, like the celebrities, they're like broken and insecure people. No offense. A lot of artists are. That's why they became artists. And you target them because they are, you know, you think they have money, they have fame, so you're not really, you're going big game hunting. All you're really doing when you talk shit about celebrities is you're going big game hunting. You know, nobody's gonna say shit. But here's the problem. He made fun of a woman's appearance who had a medical condition. In my honest opinion, as a comic, you are punching down, right? There's a difference between punching up and punching down. When someone's already suffering, you don't fucking make fun of their suffering, right? punch up. Make fun of yourself. Like, self-deprecating humor is one of the best shit ever. Everyone's laughing with you. They're not laughing at someone because of some shit you said. You know, the day that Jada actually goes on, you know, a roast show where, you know, she's sitting on the big chair and a bunch of comics can like roast her, that's an appropriate time, you know, to bust out your stupid fucking G.I. Jane 2 jokes. Motherfucker. Bro dude says Chris Rock didn't know she had a condition. She just want to be clear about that. He didn't know she suffers. I find it hard to believe, bro. Because Chris and, like, if you go on the internet, you can search a lot of pictures of Chris with the family, with the Smith family. And even if he didn't know about that, like, if I see a woman with a shaved head, the first reaction that I would have thought of was like, oh shit, she might be sick. Right? Just because, like, someone doesn't talk about their illness, it doesn't mean they might not be sick. Like, she might have cancer, bro. Like, fuck. Right? And she had the courage to go to a public event. And think about this, right? Think about this. Like, you know, you are a man, and men are extremely protective. You want to protect your woman. Whatever it is, right? You don't want to see her get hurt. Whether if it's her feelings or whether if she's in danger or whatever. You want to stand up for her, right? And when you feel that someone is pouring mud on her dignity, see, everyone is like looking at the situation like, oh, it's just a fucking joke. Okay, how about I talk about your wife? Right? What if your wife was a fat piece of shit and I said like she looked like the Michelin Man? And I said it on a stage where everyone in the world are laughing at her. And what if your wife had like a medical condition where she can't do anything about it? I will fuck you up. Best believe I will fuck you up. Like, think about it from a personal level. Like, you guys have friends, right? You guys have friends that are married. Would you talk shit about your friend's wife's appearance in front of your friend? And let me tell you the answer. The answer is no. You know why you wouldn't do that? Is because you have respect for your friend. You know, not talking shit about another man's wife, as much as it's like a respect for the woman, is as respect for the man. Because you don't want to put him on the spot to defend her, right? And people are different. Like, some people are gonna like hit you in the fucking face. Brodu says, like you mentioned, the Oscars are about paying tribute to great acting, great films, not roasting. Doesn't matter if it's Gervais or Chris Rock. Let's celebrate acting, not jokes. Yeah, you know, like my honest opinion about it is like, I think they bring these comedians on the shows to bring some entertainment, right? A lot of the entertainment that they're bringing are not really for the audiences that are in the event itself. Chris is bringing entertainment to people on TV. People like to see celebrities get shit on, right? Because we feel that, you know, they're able to take it because they have a lot of money, they're famous, they're on TV. You know, a lot of us think like celebrities are invincible, right? And it's clear. Like, if you go look at the tabloids and you see like what TMZ is talking about Kanye, Jay-Z, Beyonce, like, people like to see celebrities get shit on. So what happens if a celebrity starts to fight back? A lot of people, like, they believe they are entitled to go up to a celebrity and say whatever the fuck they want, right? Until they meet a wrong dude, like, they meet the dude like Will. Slap you in your fucking face. Yeah, the controversy sells. People like to use celebrities or other people as a punching bag. Because the real truth about like the world is like, people aren't happy, right? So when someone is not happy, what do? They want to blame everything around them. They want to blame the government. They want to blame like, yo, fuck that dude, man. He got a Lambo. Who the fuck he think he is? Yo, what the fuck, man? That guy got a 6-pack abs. He got like a big arms. Like, he fucking takes steroids, bro. Or like, yo, you see that girl? Like, she's with that dude, you know? She's with him for his money, man. Fuck them, you know? Like, you see that celebrity over there? Yo, fuck that bitch, bro. And then when a comedian makes fun of that celebrity, they're like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, you thought you were famous and rich? Bald ass bitch, you know? Like, people are like fucking toxic, right? They don't understand that celebrities are people too. Like, it's very easy to make a joke about someone's appearance. It's way harder to make a joke where everyone laughs with you, right? Why not go with the self-deprecating humor? Make fun of yourself first. You know, and if you want to make fun of someone's wife, like, pick up the phone, call the dude, give him a heads up, check in with him, and you're Gucci. If you get slapped in the face, don't be surprised about it. Yeah, misery loves company. That's why TMZ are really hyped up. Because the thing with like people is like, people in general, the way they feel better about their situation is when they see someone else suffering like them. You know what I mean? Misery loves company. And who is the type of people that you would like to see suffer the most? Are people with money. People that have a better life than yours, right? You know, you don't look at like how much work they put in to get like to where they are at, right? So a lot of people make fun of like Jeff Bezos, you know, like Elon Musk, like, you bald motherfucker, you know, like fucking piece of shit, you know, but they never looked at him when he was like a nobody starting up his company, Amazon and whatever, right? Back then, you would probably be rooting for him. You never saw him on this whole journey where he became famous, he became rich, and now he's up there. You're like, fuck that guy, right? He's no longer relatable. People only root for underdogs, right? When the Warriors were like on the come up, everyone was like rooting for them. When they became a fucking dynasty with like, you know, KD, everyone was like, yo, fuck the Warriors, man. People don't like to see greatness because it highlights the insecurity in their own lives. People like to see underdogs because they can project themselves onto those people. Nobody can project themselves onto Will because Will is actually successful. Will is Hollywood royalty. He got money. He got a beautiful family. He got a beautiful life. So whatever he's struggling with, people don't give a fuck about because you can't project yourself onto him. You know what I mean? What if like Chris Rock was like roasting a homeless dude's wife, making fun of her hair, not knowing that maybe she has cancer, not knowing maybe she can't fucking afford to like get her hair treated, right? Everyone would jump on Chris and be like, no, fuck you doing, man. But then it's okay to talk about someone who's more famous or has money. They're still humans, you know what I mean? But I gotta admit to you guys, right? I gotta come clean. Like, initially, I really did feel that Will was in the wrong. I was like, yo, Will is tripping, man. Like, why would you hit someone? Because I actually like Chris Rock. I listen to a lot of like Chris Rock comedy specials. Chris Rock has a lot of like bits that help me in my own life. You know, the way he talks about relationships, you know, the difference between men and women. Like, it helped me understand the difference better. It helped me have a better perspective. So, like I didn't like seeing Chris get smacked in the face. Yeah, you know, here's the thing. Initially, I really thought Will was in the wrong. Like, I still think he is. Like, it is wrong to, like, assault someone. You know, but what he's really doing is he's, like, giving back that pain that he feels. Nobody does anything, you know, unhappy if they feel unhappy. Like, I can guarantee. Like, Will feel some type of way. He's not in a good place. Because think about it, right? If Will is in a good place in life, he would have took that joke like a champ. He would be like, yo, whatever, man. You would laugh with everyone. But I don't think he is in a good place. You know, and it helps to know if someone is in a good place or not, right? Someone that is like happy with life would want to make you happy. Right? Someone who's happy in life would want to make everyone around them happy. Yeah. All I'm saying, man. But I do believe it's also like a good thing to make fun of yourself. That's why, like, you know, if you go to a comedy club, you should kind of be prepared. Like, if the dude makes fun of you, it's good to come prepared. Like, alright, you know, like, I gotta learn how to take a joke. But I do think there's a time and place for everything, man. Like, as much as like we look at celebrities like actors and like performers as like, you know, like, oh, they're so full of themselves, you know, they're like sniffing their own farts and all that. You gotta remember, like, these people work hard. You know, when I was a kid, I've always fantasized about like, oh, what it would be like to be an actor. Like, oh man, I would love to have like people love me, and like I wish like people would like make me sign their, you know, sign them autographs and stuff like that. But when I really look at the work, like, oh my god, like, you know, in order to be an actor, you gotta be able to cry on cue. You gotta be able to like, remember your lines. Like, that shit is hard, bruh. In general, it's not easy being a human, man. We go through our struggles in life. No matter if you're rich or you're poor, you know, like, everyone gets shit on.